Welcome to a special Branching Out, Growing Together Offshoot episode. These episodes take us beyond our usual format, whether it's a personal reflection, a unique story, or a deep dive with a guest outside our scheduled interviews. And now, here's your host, Melanie Jones.
Hey there, friends. It's Melanie. I wanted to sit down and share something a little more personal today. No guest, no interview, just a quiet check-in about where we've been, what's blooming, and what it feels like to build something that still feels deeply personal, even as it grows. So, I'm recording this solo. No outline, only a few notes, and a lot of dirt still under my nails. Lately, I've been reminded that not all progress is visible in the numbers. Some of it shows up as trust, curiosity, or an invitation to gather. That's why Brad and I are heading to Rockfield, Kentucky to celebrate the 4th of July at the PicknGrin Farm. Not for fireworks or parades, but for a pig roast. Every summer, Willie Huston and his partner Megan host this, not as an event, but more like a community gathering. No tickets, just food, friends, stories under the trees, and someone picking music as the sun goes down. It's the kind of day that reminds me why we started United Chestnuts in the first place, because this work, growing food, planting trees, taking care of soil, it only works when it's connected to people. Otherwise, it's just a checklist. And honestly, there are already plenty of those. You'll be hearing more from Willie soon, a farmer, banjo player, dad, and someone who's constantly asking what the land needs right now. That kind of listening shows up everywhere at PicknGrin. During our conversation, I asked him what it means to farm by observation, not by control. Here's a clip from that moment.
When you first started PicknGrin, what did you observe? How did you start a farm?
I had one of my mentors, he lives down in Mississippi, High Hope Farms, Johnny Ray is his name. He was a big inspiration. He handed me the right book about 15 years ago that Wendell Berry had written called The Unsettling of America, Culture and Agriculture. And then from there, just snowballed in all kinds of different, other books that were related and staked that up like crazy. Started going to conferences everywhere in regards to regenerative farming. And so I gained kind of this like steam of, but the one thing in that, the one piece is like wherever your piece of land's, because my piece of land is what it needs is different than just like what I see across the way or the other holler or the other hillside. It could be totally and often is totally different than what needs to be done here. So instead of trying to impose my will for what I wanted and a specific crop or whatever, I tried to that first year take notes, walk around and figure out, let it come to me and what was already there.
Brad and I feel lucky to be going to this event, and I think we'll leave the same way everyone does, fed, humbled, and reminded why this work matters. That reminder has been showing up a lot lately. In all kinds of places, conversations with growers, field walks with researchers, quiet moments in our own orchard, where something small is just beginning to take root. My business partner, Kimberly Douglas, and I have spent the last few months working with our team on a new season at United Chestnuts. Not a marketing season, but a growing one. And, like most good growing seasons, this one started underground. Quiet, messy, full of questions. This growth won't just be limited to a new look and feel to our website. It's going to take root in the foundation of how we serve people. People who are curious, people with land, people looking for a crop that feeds more than just themselves. I'll soon be able to share more about our United Chestnuts Partner Program, a way for folks to take one tree, one patch of ground, one small dream, and grow it into something resilient. I hope when you see it, you'll feel what we've been feeling behind the scenes, like the roots are spreading a little wider. While this was happening, back in June, Brad and I welcomed a team from the Ecdysis Foundation to our farm as part of their 1,000 Farms initiative. 9 researchers, 3 vans, a lot of equipment, and even more conversation. They came to gather data on soil, health, biodiversity, invertebrates, water retention, yield, density, but what they brought with them was something else, a deep respect for farmers and for the choices we make day after day, year after year. One of their team members, Nora D'Antuono, told me, if you have healthy soil, you have healthy food. If you have healthy food, you have healthy people. You'll hear more from Nora in her episode next month. She's sharp, kind, and wonderfully grounded. We talked about bugs, soil science, and why chestnuts might play a bigger role in regenerative systems than people realize. And finally, back home here in Kentucky at EBB Farms, our connections have been expanding. This month, we hosted a research team from the University of Kentucky to talk silvopasture and chestnut performance on the ground. I've been asked to moderate a session at the Chestnut Growers and Northern Nut Growers Conference, and later this year, I'll be joining a panel at the Kentucky Nut Growers Association Fruit and Vegetable Conference, where we'll be talking about alternative fruit and nut crops and the future of diversified farming in this region. Through all of this, I've learned you don't have to be everywhere. You just have to show up with care and keep showing up. That's what we're trying to do. So that's where we are, at the edge of something blooming. Not because we planned it perfectly, but because we kept listening to the land, to other growers, and to that little voice that says, keep going. If you're in a season of growth yourself or thinking about planting something new, whether that's a tree or a bigger vision, I hope this feels like encouragement. You're not alone in it. And if you ever want to talk chestnuts, you know where to find us. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you soon.